All right, welcome to another edition of Coffee Chat. My name is Chris Burns. I'm one of the financial advisors, and joining me today is Ashley Terrell. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you on this lovely Monday morning?
Pretty good, pretty good. Hey, a little bit of information. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. Ashley is our newest financial advisor. She's been with us for 2 years, but she decided that she wanted to continue her education, so you went ahead and took your Series 65 and passed that with flying colors. So a lot of people out there listening today know Ashley as part of our team, and she will continue along with that process, but she is now furthering education along the lines with the other financial advisors. So I just want to put that out there because I think that's a good accomplishment. Good job, Ashley.
Thank you.
And that's one of the reasons why we brought you in today on Coffee and Chat, because we're going to talk about something that is extremely important in the retirement plan, tax strategies. And a lot of people think taxes, I just go to my CPA. And 9 times out of 10, they're right, because the CPA is going to finalize all tax strategies, but also file the taxes for the individual themselves. Where we come in is trying to come up with some solutions to lower the taxable footprint for an advisor. And one of the things that we've talked about and started using with clients really since the tax cuts of 2018 have been conversions over to Roths. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of that over the last couple of years coming from the team, correct?
Yes, we do a lot of Roth conversions. The biggest benefit of that is probably going to be in retirement. You will not have to pay any taxes on the withdrawals from that Roth. Compared to an IRA where you will have to pay taxes on those withdrawals. So this will help you diversify your taxes in retirement.
Yeah. And then once they start that Roth process, it's 5 years before they can start touching those assets inside there, correct?
Correct.
Right. And so one of the things that they say is there's really 2 good times to convert money over, right? In a market downturn, well, we need to be able to time the market, which is impossible. We've already talked about that. But then another time is towards the end of the year. And a lot of individuals like to move over individual stocks or pieces of their mutual funds and things like that. And a lot of people didn't realize that they could do that, right? So one of the big benefits, as you would say, is being able to move over a stock that maybe it might be depressed or at a lower value. And then what happens to that once it goes inside the Roth if they see a positive return?
So then you can get positive returns, but then you won't have to pay any taxes on those returns.
On the capital gains.
On the capital gains.
And then the growth itself.
Right.
Excellent. And one of the reasons that we look at of using Roth conversions is to lower the taxable footprint for required minimum distributions. And we've been able to save clients some money by being able to lower that taxable footprint, because the required minimum distribution, if you're not taking it because you want to, hence the word required, you're having to take it. And so as you see that happening year over year, what are some things that you would want to maybe add to maybe tips and tricks for individuals looking at doing that?
That's a really good point. I'm glad that you brought that up. So if you start converting some of your IRA into a Roth later in life, you will not have to take, let's say that you don't need your entire RMD. There's not a required RMD on a Roth. So therefore, you wouldn't be required to take your assets out annually as much as you would if it was all in an IRA, if that makes sense. So yeah, definitely converting those assets into a Roth will help you later in life if you don't want to take out all of that income.
And so we've talked about taxes too, that, lowering the taxable footprint. But a couple of things that people might not realize is that by being able to do that, you're going to have some benefits when it comes to maybe how your Social Security is taxed, or definitely where your Medicare is taxed at also. And we use a good software program to help us maybe start that process with individuals, and it's called Holistiplan. I'm sure you've seen that several times as we've been putting that together with our team advisors and whatnot. And what do we need to get that Holistiplan up and running for somebody?
Pretty much all of your tax statements, any 1099s, anything.
1040s.
Yeah, 1040s, anything that you may have.
Yeah.
All of your tax statements, and then we can input that into the system, and it'll kind of give us an idea on where you could save tax-wise.
Yeah, it's great. One of the things I like about that is that you're able to run a lot of different scenarios. So we can take a look at maybe if you convert over certain dollar values over the year, you can see what that looks like from a tax standpoint. Or maybe if we want to incur some more capital gains or anything along those lines. It kind of gives someone that forecast, and then we can kind of start operating around that. So when we partner up those tax strategies with that Holistiplan and then also that retirement roadmap, now clients are starting to kind of see that big picture that we're starting to build. Wouldn't you think?
I think so. And the good thing about it is we have a plan for no matter what your goals are, whatever you need to accomplish, you know, we can help you facilitate that and make sure that you're on the path to make sure your goals are met.
Yeah, I'm sure you've been told this a lot of times over the phone or in person. They say, well, that's not a lot of money. And I always push back when I hear that, because I ask the question back, is it a lot of money to you? And they always say yes. So I say, if it's a lot of money to you, then it's a lot of money to us. So if we can help protect that, you know, if we can save 1% in fees or taxes, because I think the worst spender of your money is the federal government, right? I think the best spender of your money is yourself. So every dollar that we can save is another dollar that's going to be working for you long term.
Absolutely.
And now, kind of just to kind of finish that up with the tax strategy, you've mentioned a couple of things. You mentioned some of the benefits, which is being able to forecast. You've mentioned some of the avenues that we can look at, maybe looking at a Roth conversion. There's other strategies that are much more detailed to talk about inside of a podcast like this. Do you see anything coming, or do you have any recommendations of someone saying, well, look, Chris, that's a lot of information you put out. What do I need to bring? What do I not need to bring? And you've been asked that a few times before. What is your opinion on that?
Honestly, if you could just bring a summary of your overall expenses and your portfolios, any assets that you have, that is a good starting point so that we can figure out where to go from here. So really just bring us your goals, your expenses, and your assets. And from there, we can kind of figure out what's best for you individually.
Now, one thing, Ashley, you said that I want to clear up is that we've got some clients who are engineers who love their spreadsheets, which are great, and we love those. But really, let's start with statements. Let's start with your 1040, your 1099s, and then give us that incredible Excel document that you've been working on for the last few years to really kind of tie everything together.
Exactly.
And I see you laughing because you've seen some incredible spreadsheets out there, right?
And yes, we definitely have some clients that love their Excel spreadsheets. So,
well, Ashley, this was our second coffee and chat, and we really appreciate you having on. We look forward to having you on again in the future.
Thank you.
And so, with that being said, this was the conclusion of our second coffee and chat, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the future.